And what are you focusing on? What are your new projects?
I really want to dedicate myself back to poker. The last year, I did kind of take even though I have been playing bigger, I've been playing a lot less hours and really just, focusing other things, which has been great. And I love doing my other side projects, but I do kind of want to rededicate myself to poker. Also, as far as my creative projects, I really would love to grow my YouTube channel to be more of a general channel, and so it can be entertainment for anybody, not just poker players, because the ceiling and the amount of reach is really limited with that. But I would love to grow my YouTube channel. I would love to another big dream and goal. Want to write a show about poker at some point, like a mainstream show that could be understood by the general person. So yeah, I got some things in the works, but at the end of the day, I think I'm still a poker player at heart, and I want to make sure I'm still staying competitive with that.
Hi! Back with part 3 of the Peppermill Reno Run It Up live stream event. This is the final part of day 3 that I played, 10, 25, 50. We had some big straddles that happened later on in the game too, and this game gets wild. So this is at the tail end of a very long weekend of me playing a lot of poker. I'll share this with you guys. Also wanted to shout out my new merch I just got. Chris D'Elia, very famous comedian extraordinaire, has a podcast called Congratulations. If you know me, you definitely would know that I am obsessed with this podcast. I fucking love it. I tagged him on Instagram in my story, and he actually went and sent me a bunch of merch. Shout out to him. I'm gonna put his link below if you guys want to check out his podcast. Wouldn't make a dent, and I like to say it wouldn't make a dent in my fucking makeup. But we're gonna try our hardest, so let's just get it going. So this very first hand was kind of a fun one. This was against Christian Soto, a former teacher of mine, a really good guy, and a really tough opponent. So this hand is blind versus blind. I'm in the big blind with 9-10 off. Nothing to do here but check.
That's a pretty big swing in equity from one warning to the next.
As a guy who just recently drafted luck, I'm pretty bummed, but as a Chiefs fan, I'm pretty happy. So.
Dude, all I thought about was you during that, because
Flop is 10-4-5 rainbow. He checks to me, and I think I need a bet here. I do need a lot of protection with his hand. The thing, though, to consider is that he is a pretty aggressive, tough opponent, and I do think that he might be limping 100, so he definitely can have some overpair type hands and really be infinite, and that's going to make my decisions really difficult. And he decides to go ahead and check raise, 5x check raise, and now I am slightly starting to become concerned. Hand's just too good to fold to one check raise. Got to take some turns and rivers and play it out from there. But certainly not happy about how this hand is starting to develop, and I call. Turn is a 3 of hearts, bringing a backdoor flush draw. This isn't a great card for me. If he's bluffing, which he certainly can be very often, I would assume he's going to use hands like gut shots or backdoor straight draws or ace highs that can turn straight draws. Basically, he's going to be using hands that can turn equity easily.
in gambling, a lot of
gonna go large.
Like just being quick about it. It's crazy.
And I was here with money. All I had to do was go downstairs.
And this is an overbet.
Let's go.
What was the line before?
If he's doing it that wide, then that means I can definitely be calling down a little bit wider myself. So the game hasn't been going on that long. We already have the 50 on, so it's 10, 25, 50 here. Folds to me in the low jack. I open it up with ace jack off to 150. Garbo calls next to act. Daryl calls in the small blind, and Adam calls in the straddle.
In the day or the weekend. Jack
Four
gets
players.
very disappointed when there's not sample.
It's a Costco regular right there.
Very, very disappointed.
It's a Midwest thing.
Flop is ace 5-3, 2 diamonds. It checks to me. Probably can do a little bit of both here with ace jack. I think ace jack is probably one of the worst aces I'm going to be betting here for value. Garbo is a pretty aggressive opponent, so that was kind of what swayed me to want to do more checking here, but again, betting can't be that bad. Garbo bets 400 into 6. Adam calls in the straddle, and I have a very easy call here. Turn pairs of 3. Adam checks, I check.
I was probably, I'd say about -6 months.
-6 months.
Oh, look at this. Sometimes when the board pairs, it slows a player down, but not Garbo.
So I basically like didn't walk or anything, I guess. But
I could see this working. He's bet into 2 people on the flop. He quickly bets on the turn. Adam says no.
Yeah.
I tried 3 times.
What do you mean?
3 colleges.
Now Marley's in the weirdest spot ever. She's like, what is going on in this hand?
Garbo continues for 700, so pretty small bet, less than half pot. Adam does call. I actually did talk about this hand with a friend of mine after, and he said that I could probably mix in some very thin value check raises here. I think that's okay. Again, you have to have like a very specific read on the person to be doing that, but I think the more standard play is just to call.
I thought you meant you like try to fill out the documents to graduate 3 times.
Oh, no, just, he said,
Out of nowhere, a 4K pot has been built.
Did you ever live in the valley, or you stay in See Me the whole time?
Yeah, I was in See Me the whole. I was in Thousand Oaks.
Oh my goodness.
Let's go, Garbo.
Garbo is an animal. This is an insane play.
More like Garbos.
The river's kind of interesting. It's an offsuit 10. Adam checks, I check again, and Garbo goes ahead and bets 1,300. So about a third pot bet. Adam folds pretty quickly, and it's back on me, and it's something that I wanted to talk a little bit about with you guys. I'm sure that people at home experience this, but it's this concept of leveling yourself into situations, leveling yourself into calls or folds, and when it needs to be a simple decision of a math-based decision. And just to give you a little bit of idea, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an idea of what was going through my head at this time. And the board didn't change at all. I mean, yeah, I mean, like, he got called twice on the flop and turn. So here in the river, I mean, he wouldn't try to bluff us off an ace, would he? Clearly, one of us, if not both of us, have an ace. So clearly, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't try to bluff on this card, would he? Like, yeah, I guess he could have diamonds or like just a random bluff, but he wouldn't do that because that would be suicidal. Like, that is just crazy. Fuck, I mean, like, it is a small bet, but face equity, whatever. I call. So don't level yourself. I do this, you know, I think we all do this. Eventually I do come to my senses and realize I have to call. But that was kind of what was going through my head in my tanking process, and on to the next hand. So Christian Soto opens it up under the gun. I have ace king off under the gun 1. I like to mix in some calls in this position. I'll tell you why. Because when the under the gun player opens and you call, it's setting up a situation where there's going to be a string of calls and it's often going to get squeezed. And so I like to put some strong hands in my flat range here.
Jesse Sylvia has a really good squeezing hand here. And Jesse Sylvia is very aggressive in these cash games. He doesn't pass in these spots very often.
Really still right there.
And this could get crazy because Marley flatted the ace king. Oh, and Adam wakes up with 10s. What is this hand?
Jeez.
Surely Christian is going to 4-bet with so many people in the pot.
So you started with like 40, no.
I have no idea what's going to happen here.
Minus 350.
Math is hard.
Well, I said 4,700, and then I put in 350, and then he 4-bet me.
Knowing Jesse Sylvia's tendencies, we got to put in another bet here.
1350.
Yeah.
Raise to 1350.
Now what does Marley do? table is going crazy around here, and she just called $75 pre with ace-king. She is playing quite a large stack after that last hand.
Yeah, her hand's definitely under-repped, but I think this might be a spot where I just let ace-king go.
She's only in for 75. She could get away for very cheap.
I would think that the bottom of Christian's range here would be jacks.
Yeah.
With a 4-bet like this in this situation, and I think you can kind of let ace-king go. I'm going to sound like such a nit. You can get your nits out in the chat.
The problem is she's so deep. Starting the hand with 7.7K. She does let it go.
I like this fold.
Christian's range is very tight. I think that I begrudgingly have to fold, and guys, I really fucking hate folding ace-king pre-flop. It sucks, but I begrudgingly let it go. Tens calls the 4-bet. They see a flop, and then Adam check folds to Christian's c-bet, and Christian takes that down. So tough spot there, but I think right decision. I opened up in middle position with pocket sevens to 150. Michael calls, Daryl calls in the button, and Noel calls in this small blind.
And I smacked all those, I smacked all those points. You know, I willed it in.
So painful.
We go 4 ways to the flop, which is king 7-6. It's a beautiful sight to see. Got the nuts here. I see bet 300 into 525.
This pot could get big, you guys.
I ran up. I saw the notification on my phone. I ran up to the window.
Marley's been patient. She has a nice profit.
Like, oh,
She's been a little bit card dead at moments.
Well, it's gonna be pretty good this year. I didn't have the heart to tell him.
But this pot is going to grow.
Like, we can't take your bet. Andrew Luck just retired.
I'm so
That's
glad you
an
brought
orange
this
chip
up.
in the middle.
2 weeks ago, I'm at the casino.
And Noel makes it 1450 in the small blind. I'm very happy.
Jamie, what are your thoughts with 2 sevens?
I would get way more chips in right now.
Lowered the max like $50.
Charge the draws. You probably still will get it in versus hands like ace
3
king.
years ago, when they said it was week to week,
All the combos of ace king, and yeah, I think
he never played. He didn't play
with straight and flush draws on board and a potential through-away pot.
So I click it back on him to 3,500. I think those graphics are a little bit wrong. I think I had a little bit more than 8K to start the hand. I think I had closer to 9 or 10.
I know, but when they said
Raise all in.
Oh, all in. Huge pot.
Run it twice, guys. Keep it friendly.
Marley has the best of it. She's a 2-to-1 favorite. 17,000 in the middle.
Good job.
Oh, God. Okay, they're running it twice.
They're running it twice. Noel has scooped the first one.
Oh,
Oh
no.
my goodness.
Okay.
I was tilted. You know, it wouldn't make a dent in my downswing. It wouldn't make a dent in my makeup. It wouldn't make a dent in my fucking disposition. So, and that's why I tell myself, when you lose, when you chop pots, when you're a 2-to-1 favorite, that wouldn't make a dent. It wouldn't make a dent, so it's all good. I also get a little bit tilted after this. This is like, you know, a little bit of Marl's Helmuth for you guys. Live action. I get a little bit frustrated with Noel after losing this pot, and I think I refer to him as a Tom Dwan wannabe. That's poker, baby.
I should have did that. And then today when I saw that
Chop it up.
Like, come on.
Nobody gets
instead
hurt.
of running down to the sports book and going all in on the under, I text my friend saying I knew they were fucking lying.
I haven't put any bomb pots in these vlogs yet because I have been running pretty whatever in them. I hadn't really won any, and there was nothing really to write home about. But finally, after days of playing bomb pots every 30 minutes, I finally made a hand and kind of won one-ish. Well, you'll see. For those of you who don't know, bomb pots, everybody is in, they put $100 in, and they put the flop down, and we play from there. So we play from the flop, and there's $900 in there right away. So flop is 665 rainbow, and it checks to me in the cutoff, and I have king 6 off. So basically, I see bet 1/3 pot here, and then Ricky calls in the low jack.
Ricky with the dominated trip six is brutal.
Flops an ace. He checked. It's not really a great card for me, although he did call in the low jack, which means he's got a little bit of a wider range, and the ace isn't really going to be helping him that often. I don't really see him having that many ace highs. I don't really think I want to be going too big, but I obviously need a bet for value, so I just bet half pot, and he calls. And the river's interesting, it's another ace.
Happy about it, and what a great river card. Bails him out.
What sicko recommended that? What a check.
I had a $50 win, just like...
You know, like I said, I don't really think he has too many aces. You could have like ace 5 that called the flop. You know, once in a while aces, obviously ace 6, obviously. Definitely have to value bet here. Stack sizes are a little bit weird. I definitely don't want to get jammed on. Ricky is rated GTO is his screen name, so he definitely is capable of some creative plays and some aggressive plays. So I put into value bet, and he quickly just calls, and we chop, but I fucking had him. All right, so in this hand, Daryl calls. Brian raises on the button to 250, and I'm in the big blind with pocket 9s. I could definitely 3-bet sometimes. Brian just sat down. I don't really know anything about him, but I call, and Daryl calls as well. Flop is 8-7 deuce 2 spades. I check, Daryl checks, and checks around.
Well, I remember big draw for Daryl.
They look the exact same.
Turn is another 7, bringing 2 hearts. Very interesting here. So I decided to go for a check. If they do have air balls, they're probably going to start bluffing now. They could also have picked up hearts. They could also have a bunch of hands. So I check. Daryl bets 200, and he raises on the button to 1K. I don't really think I can check raise and play for stacks. Like I said, you do not want to be check raise folding when you have value hands. That is a big disaster.
Wow, you just saw a firecracker out there. I remember watching all those really early WPTs.
That's impressive. Like playing before. Like when
Hand's just too good to fold, too under-repped, too all the things. So I think I can play my whole range as a call here. I can definitely have some 7s myself. So I call, and Daryl calls as well.
I need a very specific river.
I think his first big win was LATC.
9 would be quite the money card for Marley.
Because he played with Helmuth and some
And the board bricks off, and they do give up, and I do win. Towards the end of the stream session, we had, I think, quadruple straddles on at one point. And in this hand, we are playing 10, 25, 50, 100, 200. So, very big game, and very little big blinds. So folds to me in the button, and I have ace 10 of hearts. The graphics are wrong again. I think I have closer to 10K at this point. And so, you know, we have about 50 big blinds. But I'm on the button with ace 10 suited. You gotta open it.
Let's see if Pierre uses this as a 3-bet bluff. Yes, sir.
Raise to 2,000.
So that straddle.
I like the size, out of position. You want to go a little bit larger.
And he cannot help himself. Crouching Tiger hidden 3-bet.
All in. All in.
Oh, and Marley stuffs it back in his face.
Let's go.
Wow.
I got so excited.
You know.
Yeah, it was super exciting.
What a play.
They didn't.
I'll bet you 100.
No fear at all. 4-bet piles it right in his grill.
Right now. No?
Yeah, this session was really good. I ended up making $5,500 on this session on stream, and the grand total that I made this weekend in Reno was $11,600 in about 40-something hours of play. So played a lot of poker, some amazing games. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I'm going to be back up there for the Run It Up Reno Tournament Series mid to late October. If you guys are in the area, you know, watch out for that. If you want to stop by and play some cash or some tournaments, they have all kinds of stuff going on. It's a big, big event. So shout out to that. Thanks again to Crystalia for the merch, and thank you guys so much for all your support and comments about these hand series. I had a lot of fun making this series and getting back into doing some hands and some strategy with you guys, and of course some trolling, because it wouldn't be Marls if it wasn't trolling. So thank you again. Be back soon with my next video, and as always, no dents in your makeup and no dents in your downswing. Here in the gym! Berkey slacking.
I'm stretching.
He wants to use the resistance band after me, but you know, it's okay. Creeping. Oh, conveniently sat behind me. 'Cause you're a creeper. No comment.